Shalom people, this is Brother Lyles coming at you with another video. And the other day I was driving down Highway 66, and if you know anything about the first interstate highway system that was set up to go all across the country, Highway 66 used to be Interstate 66. It was one of the first highways to go up, starting in the east, and it went all the way across the country. Well, part of it goes through the town that I live in, and it's called State Highway, or Route 66 now. It used to be a song, actually, you say, get your kicks on Route 66. It was called the Devil's Highway because it had the six in it. Well, anyway, it's just this church that's on the Devil's Highway. Can't exactly remember the name of the church, but I used to see it from time to time when me and my wife would be driving down 66. And as I was driving on this particular day that I'm talking about, I see that the church steeple was gone, and the entire building was painted white, and it's now a business. It is a business. Apparently down the street it was this doctor's office, this audiological doctor's office, where they do hearing aids and hearing testing. They were in a small house, so I guess they must have expanded, and so they bought the church apparently and turned the church into their new business. And it's just so ironic to me that this church, which is on the Devil's Highway, it looked like it was one of those small little white independent Baptist churches, where they, go and talk about George Washington and, America's Christian nation, and, all these different things about how great this nation is. It looked like it was one of those type of churches. And I noticed that even when we had moved over there, when it was still a church, that you hardly seen any cars there. You never seen too many cars in the parking lot. And then when the CV hit, CV-19, I guess it must have just dried up because I guess the congregation was either too old or too small to continue on. So I guess this business, seeing that it was open, bought it. And it's just so ironic that here a church is a place where you're supposed to be going to hear the truth. You're supposed to be going to hear things that's going to liberate you, right? But if you know anything about what Yeshua stated in the Gospels, he said these people have ears, but yet they can't hear. He said they have eyes, but they can't see. And the thing about these small white independent Baptist churches or Southern Baptist churches is that, now that all this truth and stuff is coming out about, the things that this country was doing, their younger generation of these people, they're not trying to go to these churches and hear any more of this the fairy tale of American exceptionalism like their parents and their grandparents were listening to. They don't want to hear it anymore. It's almost like that that scripture where it said, their children shall say, we have inherited lies. That now you see churches like this church that I was talking about on the Devil's Highway, they're folding up, they're dying. Either they're being bought up by businesses and turned into a business, or they're being bought up by Hispanics and other foreigners that are coming over here, turn some of them even into mosques, turning some of them into is this thing people call the Baha'i faith. You're seeing this happen to a lot of these little small white churches, and it's so ironic, like I said, that all these years those people have been sitting up there in these buildings listening to this rhetoric about Americana and the greatness and everything, and you know, the things that were being said right to them. They didn't want to hear anything contrary to that. They didn't want to hear the truth about what they had really created was part of the beast system. They don't want to hear that. But now, as they're dying off and passing off the scene, their children don't want to continue to hear these lies. Now, of course, a lot of their children, their offspring, their descendants, they don't want to hear anything about nothing about Yah or Yeshua or anything, you know. So that's the other end of it. But it's just so ironic. Now it's a place that if you can't hear, or you need a hearing aid, you can go to this former church, which is now a hearing testing, hearing aid business. The church on the Devil's Highway. And I would dare say, if you go through any place where you live at, you're probably going to find some former churches just like that. So with that, I want to ask you to give this video a thumbs up. I want you to subscribe. I want you to leave a comment. Be blessed.